Welcome back to another episode of Norse Studies with Zakk. We're going over the culture of the Teutons. If you haven't watched any of my episodes, they're in 10-minute intervals. We're just reading this together. Feel free to start at any episode that you've missed. Go back through my page. You can catch up with us. It's pretty easy. We're just going to go through this book together, kind of discern what Wilhelm Grönbeck is trying to say about Norse culture. The guild statutes provided as follows. Should it so happen that any brother kills any man who is not a brother of the guild of St. Canute, then the brethren shall help him in his peril of life as best they can. If he be the water, they shall help him with a boat, oars, dipper, tinderbox, and axe. Should he need a horse, they are to provide him with a horse. Any brother able to help and not helping, he shall go out of this guild as a knighting. Every brother shall help his brother in all lawsuits. That is to say, if one brother has a lawsuit, 12 brethren of the guild shall be chosen to go with him to his hearing and support him. The brethren are also to form an armed guard about him and escort him and from the place where the court is held, if need be. And when a brother has to bring oath before the court, 12 members of the guild shall be chosen by lot to swear on his side, and those so chosen are to aid him in manly wise. A man failing to support his brother by oath, or bearing testimony against him, is subject to heavy fines. There are two kinds of cases, two kinds of killing. 1. A guild brother kills a stranger. 2. A stranger kills a guild brother. In the former case, the brethren of the guild see that the slayer gets away in safety on horseback or by ship. In the latter case, the rule runs as follows. No brother eats or drinks or has intercourse with his brother's slayer, whether on land or on ship. The guild brethren shall aid the dead man's heirs to vengeance or restitution. It is difficult, perhaps, to realize that this double valuation had its place in a community of citizens, and not in some freebooters' camp. It stands valid as the supreme law for decent, conservative, enlightened men. Men who in those days represented, so to speak, progress and historic continuity. This partisan solidarity in Frith is their strong attachment to the past, and the cultural worth of this partisan spirit is revealed by the fact that it lies behind the reform movements of the Middle Ages as their driving force. As the brethren here in the guilds, so kinsmen also were filled to such a degree with love, so eager to help, that they could not well find any energy left for judging of right and wrong. They were not by nature and principle unjust, partisan. Faith and the sense of justice can well thrive together, but they belong, to use a phrase already used before, to different strata of the soul, and thus miss contact with each other. The uncompromising character of Frith is strikingly illustrated by the last appearance of grand old Eagle and the moot place. It happened one day when Eagle was grown old and somewhat set aside, that a quarrel arose between his son Thorstein and Onund Soni's son Steinar about a piece of land. Steinar defiantly sent his herd to graze there. Thorstein faithfully cut down his herdsmen. Steinar summoned Thorstein, and now the parties were at the law thing. Then the assembly perceives a party riding, led by a man in full armor. It is old Eagle with a following of 80 men. He dismounts calmly by the booths, makes the needful arrangements, then goes up to the mound where the court is held, and calls to his old friend Onund. Is it your doing that my son is summoned for breaking the peace? No, indeed, says Onund. It was not by my will. I am more careful of our ancient friendship than to do so. It was well you came. Well, let us see now if you mean anything by what you say. Let us two rather take the matter in hand than than that those fighting cocks should suffer themselves to be egged on against each other by their own youth and the counsels of other. I'm going to stop right there. If you guys want to get something else out of these videos, if you want them to be longer, if you want them to be shorter, please comment below. Rate, comment, subscribe. It helps me out. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.